Clark is in, and this is turned off his legs by Walter, wristily. It's timed that very nicely, and that will run away for the first boundary. Jordan Clark, round the wicket he comes to Walter, that's off his hip and whipped by Walter. So his leg side game is working perfectly at the moment, Paul Walter.
Working with as Roach is into Walter. He gets a good connection on that one. And again, he's using that leg side as he comes back for 2 runs. No, it's gone all the way for 4. His mark is into Walter, who's driving through the covers nicely, held the pose, and then is...
Around the wicket goes Roach, and Walter's just laying back and punching this beautifully to the left of Fisher.
Of course, as Clark bowls, and that one's cut expertly off the back foot by Paul Walter, through backward point and over the boundary for another 4. He played as Taylor runs up, and that's clipped off his legs through the gap between deep mid-wicket and mid-on for 4. That was a lovely shot there.
Fisher is into him. That's short. That's cut away for 4. That's just set up again on this pitch, and that'll be the 50 for Essex. Walter, as Fisher's into him, and he's clipping this one off the stumps fine on the leg side. I think this is going to run away for 4 more. Just after 12 as well.
Taylor in bowls, that's clipped off the pads by Walter. It'll be fielded on the boundary by Jordan Clark, but that is his first half century of the season. He raises his bat in the air to be applauded by the Essex crowd. They have been promoted to opening.
Matt Fisher bowling from the Graham Gooch end. He's in to Charlie Allison, a lovely drive through the covers, which is going to run away on this green pitch all the way to the boundary for 4 runs. Around Chelmsford as people finish up work for the day.
Taylor bowls, and that's just defended. Opened the face nicely, it did Allison, to guide the ball through backward point, and he's picked up a boundary for it. He hasn't tried to overhit that, just placed it really well and used the pace of the ball to...
Stopping Surrey this season as Fisher is into Allison, takes a big swipe at that one, and it's gone past the fielder on the boundary.
Down towards the Graham Gooch end, as from the other end, Dan Lawrence runs up and bowls, and that one has tucked up. Allison and Surrey have their first wicket. Lawrence is celebrating. Allison...
As Taylor is on to begin his 5th over, that's off the edge of the bat from Wesley. Didn't mean that one, but he's got it away for a boundary. Office at the moment as Taylor is into Wesley, clips that one into the leg side, and he will get a boundary for his troubles this time, Tom Wesley.
We can see, and already got a wicket, but he's in here and bowls to Wesley, who gives that plenty and drives that handsomely, beautifully. Short of boundary, but that's a glorious shot. That would have got to the boundary on either side. Mid-wicket and driven. Oh, that's a lovely punch shot again. Glorious timing from Wesley. It's another 4. Let's see what's going to happen with this one. Lawrence in again. In and bowls, leans back. Oh, out of the reach of slip. That was very nearly. I mean, it really was flying and quick. But it's going to be another 4. That one not so good to look at from Wesley.
Lawrence, all arms and legs, and then he's in. And that's another lovely looking shot from Wesley. He's played 3 of those now where he's just tossed it up outside the off stump. And here's Dan Lawrence, and Walter drives crisply up towards mid-off. Ollie Pope with a throw to the bowler's end, but Walter with those big long strides safely home for the single, and I think that will be lunch. Walter sort of has decided it is. Over the wicket is Jordan Clark. This is a gorgeous shot from Tom Wesley. Straight back down the ground for 4 now.
As Roach over the wicket bowls, and that's clipped by Wesley, but straight to Jamie Smith, who was there at mid-wicket, and we've been talking about that frustration building, and it's just got to Wesley. He knew as soon as he hit that they'd spooned it straight to the fielder, so Wesley has to go for 40.
Replacing Jordan Clark from the Graham Gooch end, he's coming in to Paul Walter, and Walter is driving. Oh, and this is nicely timed by Walter. He's got it into a gap. Not perfectly timed by Walter, but it's got it into a gap.
But again, straight down the ground as Roach is in bowls, and that's clipped off his pads really nicely by Walter, who will just about pick up a boundary. But it was a great dive from Rohan Patel, who looks to be in some discomfort after it. He dived and then almost had to dive again. Runs in, hits the ground hard, and that one's just helped on its way by Jordan Cox, who has his first boundary of the day. As Taylor is in bowls, that one's full and driven straight back and clipped the stumps at the other end before skewing off towards the boundary. That was a slightly bizarre one. It went.
Essex continue to enjoy this outfield. In comes Fisher to Walter off the toes, and it's a good stop. Fisher into Walter, who pulls that one. It comes off the top edge and it bounces away for 4 runs. He didn't mean that one. He got lucky with the bounce options as Clark is in to pull Walter. That's off the edge of the bats and away for a boundary at third. Essex on 169 for 2 as Clark is into Cox, who drives that one straight back past the bowler, and at 4-4. He had to be patient.
As this next ball comes in, Taylor bowls and worked away. Lovely shot. That's going to race away there through mid-wicket. There is a fielder out there, but he almost stumbles in trying to get to it and can't do so. So that's going to be 4 runs.
Scoring harder as Cox drives. Handsome shot. Half a hand on it from Rohan Patel, but that's going to race away for 4. That is a lovely shot.
And they don't cry, get really angry with them.
As over the wicket comes Clark, and this is a lovely shot again from Cox.
Just prepares to come in and bowl what I think will be the last ball of the over. Well, there's plenty of backlifts on that, and that's gone very nicely. Beaten Kemar Roach out there.
Settles over his bat on 40 as Fisher is into him, and Cox gets one that just nips back at him. He's got a bit of bat on this. Over the wicket once again is Fisher, driving is Cox. Super shot to bring up his 50. It's been a lovely innings so far from Jordan Cox. 77th delivery of it.
Anything away from Surrey.
Fisher's in, driving is Cox. Oh, what a shot this is. His placement there, that bottom hand has almost come across him as he's driven that to get it through that.
Really try and get there before tea.
Yes, round the wicket goes Fisher. There's the short one. Oh, Ben Foakes, good catch. Because Walters looked to pull. He's followed it.
In comes Lawrence with his unorthodox run up, and that's another single with Cox getting bat on ball this time, and that will be tea. 231 for 3. I'm not even going to say it.
Roach over the wicket bowls, and that's driven really nicely by Cox up through mid-off and races away to the boundary. So a good way for him to move into the 60s. Roach bowls, that one is cut beautifully away by Cox. It races away through backward point. He's got such quick hands, and that flew off the bat. Turns at the top of his mark. Over the wicket, and that's just fended off the outside edge by Cox, and that might also race away for a boundary. It has. The outfield is so quick here. The bails didn't come off as Lawrence bowls, and that one's cut away by Critchley, and he will pick up 4 runs for it. He's just found the gap there on the offside as Lawrence chooses to go round the wicket to the right-hander, who that one edges. He's edged that one, but past Rory Burns, who was diving all the way to his right, goes well wide of him.
Sitting in it as Patel is into Cox, and he's pushed that one into the offside. There is a fielder out in the deep. He won't get there though. 275 for 3 as Patel is into Cox. This time he drives it straight back down the ground. It's another boundary for Jordan Cox.
Anything Rory Burns is going to try and do as he moves into the 90s.
Patel over the wicket to Cox, who was down on his knee that time, and again that's a third consecutive, or not consecutive actually because we had the dot ball between, but that's another boundary for his Suffolk side.
As Lawrence is in bowled, and that one is driven up past the bowler, and that will bring Jordan Cox's century. Takes off his helmet.
Over the wicket is Roach once more. Oh, bowls him. So Cox has gone. Kemar Roach over the moon with that, and Cox's very fine innings comes to an end on 117 as Fisher's in and forward goes Pepper. Plays this one back up the pitch. That will be stumps on this first day, on this glorious first day here at Chelmsford.